Bridget Aids with Brigitting the Gap. Thank you so much for joining us today. My special guest is Curtis Lewsey,
Hello.
co-author of Appreciation Marketing. It's a great book. We'll talk about that in a minute. But before we get started, if you would please just go ahead and click the subscribe button and then also the bell so that you know when I have a new show. That would be great. We'll have all Curtis's information at the bottom of this taping. Thanks, guys. All right. Hi, Curtis.
Hello.
How are you? It's so good to have you here.
Good to be
I've
here.
had you for like 2 days, and I just
Yes.
love it. I love it. I love it. So, Curtis, I have you here today, and as you know, our station is for entrepreneurs, people who want to be an entrepreneur, currently an entrepreneur, or starting off as an entrepreneur. And we're going to talk about appreciation marketing, and why is that so important to appreciate your clients or your referral sources?
Well, one of the reasons why we actually wrote the book was because we realized how big of a competitive advantage it is just to say thank you and to follow up. And although it seems like common sense, it's just not common practice
No.
in so many different professions. And it's so important to be remembered, not only be remembered when somebody needs your product or service, on top of that is making sure that they know that you care.
Right. Absolutely, because people don't do business with you unless they know, like, and trust you, or more or less refer you out, right? Yeah. Did I ever tell you about the time that I counted in 1 year how many referrals I gave? I gave 48 referrals. How many cards do you think, or thank you, even an acknowledgement, do you think that I got out of 48 referrals?
I'd venture to say very, very low. I would probably say maybe under 10.
3. So who do you think I'm going to refer to? The people that acknowledged me. Why is that so important to acknowledge your referral base?
Well, think about it the other way around.
Okay.
You know, and let's talk about like maybe a situation that's outside of business, and let's see what happens. Let's say that you get invited to a wedding, and it's a really good friend's daughter that's getting married, and you're like, what should we get them? Jeez, I just remember changing their diaper, now they're getting married. What should we get them for? Should we go to the registry and buy something, or should we give them a check? And then you, after talking back and forth, you're like, let's give cash. And then it's like, how much do we give? And you splurge and you go above and beyond.
Okay.
And then you go to the reception, you put your card in the little box, and you just can't wait to hear from them because you splurge, you went above and beyond. And of course they're going to be appreciative, right? And then the next day goes by, and then they go on the honeymoon the day after that, and then weeks go by and months go by, and there's not even a thank you or an acknowledgement. You're thinking, originally you're thinking, did they even get it? Did somebody steal the cash?
Right.
Right? That's the first thought.
Yeah.
And then you're just, geez, I really hope they got it. So then you happen to bump into them at a family event or at the grocery store or something. You say, hey, I just want to double check. Did you get the card for the wedding? Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. That means so much. That was the best. Thank you. Instantly, you're like, really?
Yeah.
And then so let's say the baby shower rolls around in a year or two, and then you get invited to the baby shower. Are you less likely or more likely to go to the top of the list of that registry and click buy now? It's just human nature. It's human nature, right?
Yes.
And so let's flip it around. Let's say you and Frank go to the wedding, and the day after, they call you and say, you know what, Bridget, just having you and Frank at our wedding was a gift enough. The card was absolutely beautiful, and the cash was over the top. You really didn't have to do that.
Oh.
We go on our honeymoon tomorrow, but I just had to give you a quick call and just say thank you so much. You guys mean so much to us. I know you, and you'd be like, I didn't give enough. We should have gave you our money. I know who you are. And
wait till the baby comes.
They're
going to get all kinds of gifts.
Yes, jeez. You might even get a whole new house from you.
Yes.
So, I just know the way you are, and that's it's human nature.
Yes.
Okay? So behavior rewarded is behavior repeated.
Exactly.
Think about that for a second. So you want to reward the behavior of sending that referral. So if somebody sends you a referral, whether you close the business or you cash a check or anything, you appreciate that because they're sharing trust in you. And so I think that's so important. I think that people get so caught up in their hectic busy in their life, and they don't do this little stuff that means so much.
Exactly. You talk about being disingenuine. Mm-hmm. Can you? You have a chapter. I love this chapter name. It's one of my favorite chapter names. Can you talk about the chapter that I'm mentioning to you, and why is it so important to, when it's a birthday card, Curtis? It's a birthday card. It's not what you say. Mm-hmm. So can you explain, just so we get that clear through our heads, to be genuine?
Well, chapter 5 is called Chocolate Frosted Dog Crap. Okay, Chocolate Frosted Dog Crap. And the whole thing is, it's kind of like a metaphor. Let's say that I'm on the other side of a room and I have a piece of what you think is chocolate cake with frosting on it, and I bring it up to you, and how long do you realize that's
not long?
Instantly,
it's
it
not
smells.
genuine.
It's cracked. Literally, it goes in the garbage. Why am I saying this? Because so often from afar, people are. It looks like appreciation and gratitude, but it's not. It's wrapped, it's cracked, and it comes across as disingenuine, insincere when you're reaching out trying to get something and you're disguising it as appreciation and gratitude. It's the same thing if I was to send you a birthday card and say, hey, Bridget, happy birthday. I hope everything's going great in your life, and then P.S.
The best referral, the biggest compliment in the world is a referral.
Oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for your referral. That kind of, if you leave that last line off the bottom and just celebrate the person, it lands with a warm and fuzzy.
And do you put your business card in a birthday card?
Never. And I don't put my business card in any type of card. Now, I do put branding on the back of the card, of course.
That's okay.
And so kind of like what Hallmark or American Greetings does.
Right.
I put my branding on the back of the card, but it's less intrusive. It's not, it's not like I'm throwing my logo on the whole front of the card and sending it on out. I think that appreciation marketing at the end of the day, it's sending out without expectation of getting something in return.
That's right.
It's celebrating people. It's acknowledging people, recognizing people. Mary Kay Ash, a perfect example.
Yes.
Mary Kay Cosmetics, billion-dollar empire. She built it because she taught her consultants to send 3 greeting cards, 3 thank you cards every single day. Handwritten to send them out. I'm a huge fan of handwritten cards. And so making sure that happens is, and she built the whole, because she says that everybody's walking around with this invincible sign around their neck that says, make me feel appreciated, special. Make me feel special, yes. Recognize me. They say babies cry for it and men die for it. It's that important, recognition.
Yes, absolutely. So if I were an entrepreneur, or going into becoming an entrepreneur, I leave my job, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, is this a good time for me to start these habits?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I think it's right away. It's never too late. And it's never too late to say thank you. It's never too late to appreciate.
And what do I do?
Things that we say. It's just looking for ways to appreciate people. Social media is an awesome one. What I do is I scroll through social media and I take screenshots of life events and I email it to myself. And I don't open it until I time block. So time blocking is really important. It's in a book called The One Thing. I highly recommend you pick up that book. Gary Keller, owner of Keller Williams and Jay Papasan. And so in that book, they talk about time blocking. If it's not in your schedule, it's not real. It doesn't exist. Yeah. And so I believe that time blocking, appreciation, and gratitude marketing is so important. And just reaching out in kindness and celebrating people and saying thank you. And there's so many situations every single day to do that. And focusing on your activity.
Talk about this one, would you? I know, I'm ready for this topic. So.
Okay, so this is one of them. I'll just give you an example. So I screenshotted and saved a picture, and this is a picture Bridget posted on Facebook last November, and it was her dog, best friend of 19 years, Shotzi, who passed away. And seeing that bubble, it says, thank you for an amazing life, Mom and Dad. And on the inside, I put the Rainbow Bridge poem, and notice I Google imaged the paw print, and wrote the dog's name on the inside and just wrote a little message that says, where do I begin? Mommy and Daddy, thank you for being my best friend. Thank you for always finding time to play with me, and thank you for giving me scratches. I'm here to listen to all of your ideas and sorrows and happy times. I'm still here for you. You're the best mommy and daddy that a 4-legged friend could have. And when I sent this card, I felt so good sending it. Of course, I've sent her a bunch of cards in the past, so she knew it came from me. However, sent it from her dog. And when you do stuff like this, that warm and fuzzy, it was beyond a warm and fuzzy. I mean, I know that even Frank couldn't even get through the whole card and read it. And I knew that this would be a keepsake, and things like this. And now I didn't send it right away. It was actually something I emailed to myself and said, and then I sat down, and it was probably the next week. But it's never too late to do that kind of stuff. And I really enjoy doing that stuff. And it's I think that when somebody focuses on relationships, relationships are the real currency, and it's what's going to help build a career, in whatever it is that you're doing. Because you don't want to be, Bob the realtor or Frank the appraiser. You want to be Frank my appraiser, Bob the plumber, or Bridget my hairdresser, whatever it may be. And so having that different level of energy and having people want to refer you and go out of their way to say nice things about you. That's something that's very special. Well,
in our salon, just so you know, Curtis, in our salon, everybody, when they left that evening, all of our hairdressers, and myself included, we wrote thank you in cards. Whether the guy comes every month or every 2 months or whatever, we always did. And that's how we built our business. Strictly by a phone call the next day, how is your hair, and a card saying thank you. Who does that?
Yeah.
So that's how you could separate yourself out. You talk about your competition. We don't have to do a whole lot. What do we need to do to just be better than our competition? What are the simple things?
Well, I mean, I'm a big fan, obviously, in our book, Appreciation Marketing. We share a lot of different tips and a lot of different things to be able to go outside the box and be out of... Like, one of the things, I'll just share with you a couple things that are free that you can do. Like, go on Facebook and look at people's birthdays who are tomorrow and send them a text message. Send them a video or a voice text. I don't never post on somebody's wall because it's what everybody else does. Why do you want to stand out and you want people to send them a private Facebook message? It depends on the level of the relationship. I also do send a lot of greeting cards as well. So I set reminders for like 7 days or 14 days in advance. One of the things that I do is I downloaded the Occasions app. It's 99 cents. It's just called Occasions. It's 99 cents. And you can add all kinds of different life events. So when I meet somebody, especially influencers that like, they say, when I worked for Cintas Corporation right out of college, I sold really sexy products like toilet paper and air fresheners and soaps. Right?
I can't imagine
every
you doing
door,
that.
every store, every floor. And I was really forced to look at people as dollar signs and decimal points because it was tied to Wall Street. It was only good as my last sale. There was no residual. I couldn't upsell the account.
No residual?
Wow, so
that's hard work.
It was one of those things where I learned so much. And one of the things I learned was from the number one sales guy who worked half the amount of hours than me and made way more money. And it was because he took me out to lunch one day because he knew I was getting burnt out. And he says, you got to get to know people for who they are, not what they do. And he goes, I get the referrals from all your drivers in your territory because I know that that's Jeff that likes to go fishing on the weekends and has 3 kids and also is training for a sprint triathlon. So like
deeper level.
He knows people at a deeper level. And so I think that is one of the things I say, like 3 secrets to 3 referrals a week. You want to start building a huge business by referral. There's one of the things I say I call cards, calls, and corn muffins. And I'll just tell you briefly what that is what I recommend is you send a greeting card out to a whole bunch of people in your sphere, especially the influencers and stuff. And maybe you bought a new technology, maybe you have a new software, maybe a new program, maybe you have a new hire, maybe you have something to announce in your business. It's kind of more of like an announcement. And at the bottom, you say, I'll be reaching out to you soon. And I just want to thank you in advance for always thinking of me and sending referrals my way. It just means the world to me. So now when you follow up with a phone call, you don't even have to bring up the card. They're going to bring up the card, right?
Yeah.
And they're probably going to be thinking about ways that they can help you because the card you might have shared a few different testimonies, people that you're helping recently, or why you bought this technology or software to help out the consumer, the customer, whatever it may be. And then you take your top 20%, take your top 10%, and say, these are the people that are connected with so many other people. And I need that breaking the bread with them. That's the corn muffin metaphor, is like, be in physical presence with them. Invite them out for a coffee, invite them out for a lunch, and get to know them. And one of the things that I share with people when I do my trainings is like, get to know people. Say, if I met with you, Bridget, for the first time, I'll say, so Bridget, where did you grow up and what led you into the happy coffee business? Like what's your journey? I want to hear it. And so when they share their story, you can connect with them in different levels. Oh, I went to college in that city, but bite your tongue. Don't say anything until they're done. Let them talk 3/4 of the time. It'll be your turn to talk. And so you connect with them at a deeper level. And then one of the things I always train is send a greeting card to that person with something on it that made reference to something they're passionate about. And I say, Bridget, what fires you up? I'll always ask, like, what makes you feel the most alive? Like outside of work, what do you love to do?
That's a great question.
What makes you feel the most alive? And they'll say, oh, you know what? I love giving back and helping out, underprivileged children that maybe didn't have a life that I had, or maybe I just absolutely love Europe. And I want to spend 3 months out of the year in Europe. Oh, what's your favorite place in Europe? Why do you want to go there? And so then I'll Google image something.
I was going to say, put the image of the little town in there.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
And so when you do something like that, they don't forget you.
No.
And then when it's your turn, and so really when you're meeting with them, you're getting to know them for who they are, not what they do. And that's appreciation marketing at its finest, right? And Tommy talks about in our book is like, remember the dating scene and you meet your significant other. In the beginning, it's like you put on your A game. You always found time during lunch to make that phone call or sneak out to go grab a bite to eat with that person. Or heck, you're laying in bed until 2 o'clock in the morning talking about nothing just because you want to hear their voice. And that kind of stuff, people put on their A game all the time to earn that first customer, that earn that client. And then,
but what about keeping them?
That's them so important, is just making sure that you let them know that you appreciate them and that you show that you care. And there's a lot of different ways to be able to do that.
Oh my gosh!
So those are some of the things that we share, and this doesn't resonate with people as much if they have more of a transactional business, and it's about the numbers and stuff like it. Because see, we live in a Google world because what you offer probably can be Googled in a few minutes, can be found. And so whether it's your real estate agency, no, they can't. Well, yes, they can. They can go on Zillow, they can get an instant offer, they can go
That's
on
right.
Redfin, and they can get, there's a lot of different things that
Absolutely.
people do.
Absolutely.
So I think really standing out, being remembered, showing that you care, those are the top 2 reasons why people are going to come back to do business and refer you business. And, at the end of the day, we want to build a life because whatever it is that you're doing is most likely just a vehicle to help you get from where you are to ultimately where you want to go. And where you want to go is your passion. And it's like, where is that? And I want to get to know people for like, where is it they want to go? What are they doing? Like,
what turns them on? What gets them excited?
What makes them feel alive?
Curtis, you have a system, AM cards.
Oh, yeah.
And what I'd love for you to do is take a few seconds, if you would, and describe the AM cards and how does somebody get started on it?
Of course I will. Thank you for plugging me. That's awesome, by the way. I appreciate that.
It's something to plug. It's
so
amazing.
AM stands for Appreciation Marketing, and you can go online and sign up for free. It's amcards.com, and you can send your first card on me, your first card and stamp. You can send anywhere in the United States.
And they can add a picture in that first card.
They can customize it. You can sign your own name and do all. We print it, stuff it, stamp it, and mail it out. I'm a big fan of handwritten cards, but there's a lot of things you can do with this that you can't do with going to the store and buying a card. And
well, so, Curtis, I'm going to be honest with you. Some of the handwritten cards I've received, I can't read them.
Yeah,
I can't read them. But if it had a picture of my dog or something on there, that's a keeper.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to interject.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things.
Yeah.
And then we also have a business setup fee. And usually when I do large speaking engagements, and instead of charging $295, I want to help a whole bunch of people get started at once. But because of the relationship that we have, and I want to help out all the people that are watching this, I'll waive the entire $295 if you guys would like to upgrade and become a member.
Thank you.
So it just make it really simple and easy. Just reach out to us, or reach out to Bridget, reach out to us, or through AM Cards, and said I set up my free account and I would like to take advantage of the $295, and I'll send over, or my assistant will send over the details of how you guys can do that, and you can send a few cards and see. And then there's also, I'm putting together some trainings and stuff like that. I'm putting together appreciation and gratitude and marketing masterclass, so you can stay in touch with that. Like some of the stuff that I shared right now, I'm going to go a little bit into a deeper dive. So a lot of people need really even more ideas.
Absolutely.
So like reaching out to somebody the day before their birthday is awesome. Like the Occasions app, I record and put in there when somebody loses a loved one or something, and then I'll make sure I remember at least for that first year, because the first every year is tough. And I don't want to feel like I'm like a freak or a weirdo.
But the first year is the first
of
everything without that person in your life. So it's really difficult. And also your book.
Yes, Appreciation Marketing. Actually, I have it right here. So Appreciation Marketing, appreciationmarketing.com. And we're going to post some links. And so I actually have a free audio download that you can have for free. Listen to it. And if you want to get the book, you can get the book after the fact. But I always I'm listening to books a lot more lately. Yeah. And so I'm on the road and on the go a lot. And I'll give you this little hack, this little life hack. So what I like to do is I like to buy the book. And then I also get the audio version, and I listen to it. I put my headphones on, and I listen to the book while I highlight. So we're on Audible, so you can listen on Audible like 1.5 speed. And so you can get through the book so much faster, and it is total immersion. And so you can go back 30 seconds, and you can go with your book with a highlighter. And so I read books fast now because I'm listening to it, and I'm reading it, and I'm taking notes.
Awesome.
I can pause it and whatever. So because I don't know if my mind is going all over the place.
Monkey mind.
I'll get to the bottom of the page, and I'll be like, "What did I just read?"
Yeah.
So
right.
I end up reading books twice.
Well, Curtis, thank you so much for taking time for me today. I really appreciate it so much, and I value our relationship. And you do make deposits in relationships often, and I really appreciate, adore, and love you.
Thank you so much.
Well, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed today. If you need more information, we will list everything for you for sure at the bottom. And thank you guys so much for joining us today, and I hope this is the best day of your life.
Thank you.
Take care.